Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the next video, the combo guide or combo tutorial for the budget White Forest build that I discussed in the previous video that you can see by clicking this eye above my head. We're in the little top right corner right there. Yep, right there. I apologize for this video being so late to come out, with being busy with Halloween collabs with other VTubers, on top of having the locals video that I wanted to get out as soon as possible while it was still relevant and while I still remembered everything. Unfortunately, the time just didn't line up. So this footage was originally taken out of the budget White Forest deck guide video that I posted earlier. So the wording might be a little bit wonky. I took it out due to the time on the video. I didn't want it to be like a 40-minute, 1 hour long video with everything included in it. So I wanted to break it up into 2 videos. Again, I apologize for this coming out so late. I know a lot of people have been asking about the combo guides and combo tutorials for the deck build guide. So I hope you enjoy. Remember to like and subscribe and all that YouTube stuff. And of course, thank you as always for watching, and feel free to comment down below any questions, comments, concerns, all that good stuff. I hope you enjoyed the video. So that being said, let me get a quick shuffle up and I'll show you the main combo route, main combo line for this deck. Just like normal lines, like normal extenders if we're not afraid of like nib or certain hand traps or playing around like Ash and Imperm, things like that. So quick cut. Boop. For our opening hand, just to show off the combo, if we're going through our anti-nib line, if we're afraid of nib, going like game 1, we don't know what they're on, we'll just go our toy box effect, get our toy soldier and our toy tank, boop, into our spell and trap card zone. Then we will go normal summon our stellar effect, send the toy soldier. Stellar is going to special summon out your Sylvie. Normal White Forest lines. We're going to go chain link 1 Sylvie to search, and then we're going to go chain link 2 toy soldier in the grave to special summon to block our Sylvie search. And here, if you're afraid of being drolled, then you need to search out your woes. If you know they don't have droll or believe they didn't have droll for not playing around droll, then I just grab your Scourge of the White Forest. So we have another Omni for your opponent's turn, or to protect us under when we have our White Forest Synchro. Our toy soldier effect is going to search out, can either be your Rusia or another Sylvie, since it has to grab a level 4. We're just going to grab our Rusia here just in case our LSAT search gets interrupted in the future, since we don't need another extender. Now we're going to go into our level 6, syncing those 2 off into our Immortal Dragon. So that's summon number 4. And then we're going to synchro these 2 off. On summon number 5, we have Arms of Gen X return 0. So now we have on summon 5 a negate for a light monster by banishing Toy Soldier, or a dark monster by banishing Immortal Dragon. So now we are not afraid of nib, and we are playing under a pseudo Omni negate, kind of, sort of, not really. So now we can continue going through our lines. So we have LZ in hand still to extend with. So we're going to go LZ effect, send the toy tank. Now again, because toy tank, even though it's in the spell and trap card zone, it's sent as a spell and trap. Once it hits the graveyard, it is read as a monster, so it does not trigger your stellar. Very important to note. But now we're just going to grab, you can grab any of your White Forest names just to thin out your deck, have plays for next turn. We're just going to grab a Sylvie, so we have another searcher for next turn. And then we are going to special summon our toy tank on chain link 2. Lens of Ascent. And now we can special summon our Sylvie, since we do control a spellcaster monster. Send our Scourge of the White Forest to set it. Sylvie is going to draw us a card, so we do get to go plus a little bit here. Quick shuffle, and I'll just do like a little random card ski. Random draw 1.
So one off the top. It's another toy box. So this will just be face down to represent any random card right here. So we'll go a Stellar Chainlink 1 to special summon itself from the grave. Synchro off with here in a second. And then Chainlink 2 Scourge to reset itself to block the Stellar special summon. Now we can go into our White Forest line. So we have a Stellar and Rusia to make our Resilia. Resilia effect, send our toy box. Resilia is now going to grab the Iris Sword Soul. Depending on what you want to end on with this deck, this is where the other point of interaction happens, or point of change happens in this deck, or access point in this deck, I guess. You can either grab the Iris Sword Soul, or you can grab the Woes. Both are viable options. It just depends on what you want to end your board on. So for the sake of this video, we're just going to do the Iris Sword Soul line. We're going to grab Iris Sword Soul here, since it is a light spell caster. Then we're going to synchro these two off to make our Diabell. And then our Diabell is going to recycle us back that toy box from earlier. Because the toy box is off for once per turn, we can play this toy box reset if we wanted to. There's not really any purpose of that unless we needed like extra spell and trap cards to send for like Diabell effect or Zapper Shrimp effect during your opponent's turn. So we have those toys in the grave. We have a toy in the grave for that. Now we are going to go, you can either go your Rusia or your Sylvie here. Special summon, putting back our Resilia. And now since we control a monster with its effects negated, since that's how Sylvie or Rusia summon from the graveyard, we can special summon our Iris Sword Soul from hand. Now we have 2 level 4s here, so we're going to synchro them off into our Visas Amitara. Visas Amitara is going to grab our Monodium. There's our Monodium reframing. And then now that we control 2 level 8s, we're going to overlay them into our number 38 Hope Harbinger. So now at end step, we have our Monodium reframing set. We have an Imperm that we opened with. We have our toy box. Toy box, we can get another toy just to have as send fodder for our opponent's turn. So we all have 5 back row there. And we still have the Scourge set as well. So we have 2 Omni negates, the light and dark monster negate here, Diabell to summon a Synchro Tuner, whether it be your Silvera to book their field, or like a Zapper Shrimp or something to go into a Chaos Angel during your turn. Then we have a Spell and Trap negate and Pseudo Battle Protection with Hope Harbinger. So this is the anti-Nib line if we're afraid of Nibiru. This is pretty good, honestly, for, like I said, a budget deck. This is a pretty viable competitive inboard that you can do, depending on like what interruption you're facing or going against. But let's see what we can do when we're not worried about Nib. We're not going through our anti-Nib line. And what all we can end on. So let me reset real fast. Okay, so we're here, since we're not worried about opponents Nibiruing us or anything like that, we're going to play around like, say, like an Ash Blossom or Imperm or things like that. So let's go with our toy box. Toy box effect. Get our soldier. Get our tank. It's going to be more or less the same lines. The good thing about White Forest is their lines are very easy. We're going to start with our LZ first, sending our toy soldier. LZ effect is going to search out our Sylvie. Since the LZ effect is all one effect, you can't go chain link to toy soldier. So on a new chain, special summon toy soldier effect is going to grab us our Rusia. Now we are going to go normal summon Sylvie here. Sylvie effect, search out our White Forest card. Again, this can be Woes, this can be Scourge, but we're just going to grab Scourge here. So while we control a spellcaster, let's just go ahead and summon our Rusia, send the toy tank, get a free draw here. I don't know why I'm shuffling. Free draw, boom, Ash Blossom. So we'll just keep that face down again. Just a random card, could be anything. Now we'll go toy tank to special summon itself over here. So now we got to clear off our board a little bit. Toy soldier and this Rusia into our Syl Hat Rabbit. Syl Hat Rabbit is going to set our Angel Statue Azurine. Boop. And then we will go Toy Tank effect. Since it does have text on it, you can actually tribute this card to special summon from your hand, but if you control a toy box, it can be from your graveyard. So we're just going to tribute it to special summon out our Stellar. Then we can go a Stellar effect to send the toy box, since we're done for that for now. And we're going to be grabbing that, recycling back that here a little bit later. And then a Stellar is going to grab us another Sylvie. So now we'll synchro these two off to make our first 6. We'll just go into our normal White Forest line. We'll grab our Rusia here. Rusia effect, we can send our Scourge now that we searched out earlier. Here again, you can choose whether you want to end with Woes, or if you want the Hope Harbinger, you'll grab the Iris Sword Soul. We want the Hope Harbinger, so we're going to grab the Iris Sword Soul. Other option you could do is if you want to end on Woes plus Monodium plus like IP Masquerena to represent SP Little Knight. So we're just going to go again with the Harbinger line for the sake of the video. So Scourge is going to reset itself, so we're actually going to go Chainlink 1 Stellar here, just special summon. Chainlink 2 Scourge to reset itself to block the special summon. Then we're going to use these two to go into our Diabell. Our Diabell is then going to grab our toy box that we sent earlier. So now we're back up to 5 cards in hand. Then now we can go our Sylvie effect to special summon itself by negating its effects, putting back the Rusia. And then, since we control a monster with negated effects, we can go our Iris Sword Soul over here. We will use the 2 4s. To make our Visa Samitara. And then we will search out our framing. So now we have our framing. Then overlay these two. Into Hope Harbinger. So now with this line, we're ending on a toy box, Monodium reframing, Imperm as 5 cards, and then we have 2 cards left in hand. It could be anything with this deck. So we're ending on Diabell, Syl Hat Rabbit, Hope Harbinger. We have Monodium reframing as a negate. We have Imperm. We have our set Scourge as another Omni negate, and we have our Azurine here. Now, to show you the line with the SP Little Knight, so instead of grabbing this Iris Sword Soul, let's rewind it back a little bit. Put these two back. Okay. So, instead of grabbing the Iris Sword Soul, a different option again we could do is Resilia is just going to search out our woes here. That's still going to trigger the Stellar and the Scourge in the grave. Chainlink 1, the Stellar, Chainlink 2, Scourge. So Scourge is going to set itself, and Stellar is going to special summon itself, so we can chain block the Stellar special summon. Then we'll synchro these two off. Make our Diabell. Diabell is going to give back our toy box to hand. Then we can go Sylvie effect in the grave or Rusia effect in the grave, whichever one. Special summon itself. Put back the Resilia back into our extra deck. Sorry for the glare. And now with 2 level 4s, 2 light level 4s, we'll synchro both of them off. We'll go Visa Samitara. Visa Samitara is going to search out our Monodium Reframing. Boop. And then we will link these two off into our IP Masquerena. So now, with this line, we have Infinite Impermanence, Woes, and Monodium Reframing, all as our back row. So we're ending on our Silhouette Rabbit, IP Masquerena, which represents SP Little Knight, our Diabell to special summon like a Silvera, to Book of Eclipse, or Zappa Shrimp to go into like a Chaos Angel or anything like that during your turn. We have Woes for double booking their field during their turn. We have Monodium for Anomaly Negate, Scourge for Anomaly Negate, Imperm, and then Toy Box plus 2 cards in hand. For a budget option for this deck, this is very valuable. Like I said, I had success with this going to locals. I just never made videos about like this deck. I didn't have the confidence to make videos about this deck because I saw so many people on YouTube post their lists constantly of White Forest decks. But if you're looking for a budget option for White Forest, highly recommend this build. Like I said, the most expensive cards in this deck are going to be just your LZs. If you choose not to play SP Little Knight, you don't have to play SP Little Knight. This is just the option if you would like to. But this deck runs fairly cheap if you're not running SP Little Knight or Mold Charmings or anything like that. And I believe like outside of LZ, everything else is under like $20 per card. So, and it still makes it like a pretty powerful inboard if you're not having to struggle through like hand traps and things like that. Just I will preference the consistency with this deck is not as good as like the Runic version or the Azamina version of this deck. So hopefully this deck guide and combo guide helped you out. Let me know down in the comments below if there's anything that I missed or any suggestions for this deck for like budget options for White Forest. If you enjoyed the video, let me know down in the comments below. And of course, remember to like and subscribe. I really appreciate all the support so far with these White Forest lists. Hope you enjoyed the video, and good night.